Good morning. It is about 8 o'clock, 27 degrees outside. The wind is blowing, and you can see the sun is coming up behind that cloud that's about to move over it. I am at Elk Garden road crossing here. Doing a little shorter distance this morning than I thought I was going to do. I'm only going to do about 10 miles today, maybe just a little less. Just a bunch of things, and shuttle driver, timing, and give my legs a little bit of a rest. They were feeling a little tired yesterday when I went to the grocery store, so I'm not in a big hurry, and I don't actually want to get too far ahead of some of the other folks that I was hanging around with, so I can maybe see them tomorrow. But pretty view back there. That's where I'll be going tomorrow, up over that. But as it is today, going up this trail, cold, snowy, and a little breezy. So I'm ready to get into the woods and get out of the wind. And like I said, short day, but I'm not in a hurry because it's 8 o'clock and he can't pick me up until 12:30. So because he's got to make another run up to some airport, Bristol Airport or something. So I'm going to be sitting around if I get there too soon, which will be chillier than walking. So walk slow, try to take some pictures, although it's so cold my gloves and the fingertip things aren't working so well with the phone this morning, but hopefully it'll warm up a little bit more. And I got 2.5 mile climb to start, so that'll warm me up for sure. See you in a bit. So one cool thing about there being this snow on the ground is I can do some tracking, or at least see some animal tracks. I haven't seen too many animals, but at least I get to see that they've been scurrying around here. There's a couple right here. Figure out what they are later. But I got about a 600-foot climb at like 4,500 feet, going up to 5,100 feet over the first 2 miles. So that'll get the legs and lungs pumping, and it'll be chilly at 5,100 feet. But the winds aren't too bad, so that's a plus. But it's pretty out here. Hard to believe. 2 days ago I was in 85-degree weather climbing up Pond Mountain, and now here I am in 27-degree weather, maybe chillier, and doing another climb. That's the AT for you. See ya. Alrighty. So, given the odyssey of my hiking weather this past week, our would you rather today will be hiking and weather related. Would you rather do a day-long hike? Let's do this now. An overnight hike, day-long, overnight, next day, in temperatures in the high 20s to low 30s, or high 80s and low 90s. So you gotta spend a whole day and a night out in those temps. Which would you rather do? I'll noodle on that for the day, and you guys think about it too. And we'll see where we get to in a little while. See ya. I'll tell you what, it's a full-on winter wonderland here, going up over White Top Mountain. There's snow in the trees, just enough snow to cover everything, but not so much that it's hard on the trail. I'm not doing any kind of post hole or anything like that. It's just a dusting on the trail, but enough to cover everything else with a really nice wintry touch to it. And the pine trees all have, as you can see, snow in them, so it's really quite nice. Digging this. No wind, so that makes me happy. And yeah, little winter wonderland. How about it? A little icy climb right here. Might be wishing I had those exo spikes that I left down at Dad's. just have to be super careful because that's all ice up around here, so gotta take it a little slower today because of that, but it's all good. All right, so how cool is this view? These trees are all snow covered, and up there in the distance you got that big mountain. Everything is, again, a little winter wonderland. Really pretty cool. Oh, and the wind's kicking up. Time to get back into the tree line. Woo. Just showing you this again. Pretty sure this is the top of White Top Mountain. So, fantastic view. I think there's a road that must run by here because there's some power lines right there. They're pretty close. But man, is it gorgeous. The wind is staying at bay mostly, which helps. I just love the way the trees are all coated in snow right here. Pretty cool. I think I'm mostly downhill now, a little over 2 miles in. That icy patch back there was dicey. It took me a while to get up that little spot, and then down the other side was a really tough, it was a steeper down that was all icy. Definitely could have used some spikes, but it took me several minutes just trying to navigate a trail down without falling on my butt. And I almost fell a couple times just trying to get up those few little steps that I showed you. That's how icy it was, and just tough to get around. But moving slow, did it. Safe so far, and away we go. I just can't get enough of this view up here. Even though it is windy, it is just spectacular. It's a little icy here on the trail. Hello. And the wind's dying down a little bit. I'll show you again. God, it's so awesome. This is a good day. Hello. It is chilly up here on the mountain. As you might tell how I'm dressed. Just met a guy hiking up the hill, a guy named Colors. Sounded like he was French. I don't know if he's from France or French Canadian or something. Nice guy, but he's hiking in Crocs in the snow. He's got socks on. I said to him, "Why are you hiking in Crocs?" He said he had some trouble with his boots for a while and had been carrying them, but decided to send them home. But I feel bad for him. I mean, this is not the kind of conditions to be hiking in Crocs. And it's going to get icier when he gets into the woods up there. So, told him to be careful. And hope he does okay. But he said his Achilles is bothering him a little bit too. That's not a good recipe for finishing. So hopefully he gets that all taken care of and maybe gets a new pair of shoes somewhere. Anyway, you have to pay attention here. It's a little slippery going downhill. See ya. So I'm heading downhill. I'm a little over 5 miles in. Just past a slew of people coming out. I guess there's a shelter down here not too far. And they all camped there for the night. I saw Boos again, who I saw yesterday. I've seen a couple times. I saw Ricky Bobby just now. He was on the phone. I guess you can get a cell signal here. I didn't know he was on the phone talking to his wife. Saw like 3 or 4 other guys I hadn't met before. None of them looked too happy. Sounds like it was really cold last night and wet snow and sleet. So I think a lot of them were tenting, and Boos said his tent was just all wet and cold. He had it wrapped up on the outside of his bag. Ricky Bobby just said that it was sleeting on them last night, so everything's damp. I'm glad I stayed in a shelter or a hostel. I know it's kind of taking the wimpy way out, but you know what? I'm still walking all the miles. I don't have to suffer every single night. And last night sounded like it was some of the suck you're supposed to embrace. But yeah, making decent time. Can't afford to slow down too much though, because it was icy and it took me longer getting up on the other side of the hill. And my ride's supposed to be there at 12:30, and I got 4.5 miles to go in like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I am on the move. Good thing it's downhill. Just gotta be careful because it is slick. We'll see in a bit. Back down at 3,200 feet of elevation, and no more winter wonderland. Back in a little green tunnel of rhododendron. Yeah, that was quite an experience up top there, and big climb going north. These guys all have a big climb ahead of them. I'm at 3,200 feet right now, going down further, and top of that is like just about 5,100. So there's a big one. This looks like somebody I might know. Let me turn this off, talk to him. Yep, so just past Slinky again. I've seen him several times. Stopped and talked to him for a little bit. He's nursing a couple injuries. He said he's got a tendon in his foot. It runs from like his big toe up to top of his foot that has really been bothering him. He took 4 days in Damascus, tried to heal that up, but he said it's still bothering him. And then he pulled something on the other leg in the upper groin area. So he's limping along up trail. Just trying to do 13 today, get to the next shelter, and call it a day. So it's a tough climb with a couple bad wheels. Hopefully he heals up and gets better. But I'm sure I'll see him again after tomorrow. That's about all for now. Hello, coming into the home stretch here for a short day, a little under 10 miles. About a quarter of a mile to go. Thought I would check in and do the would you rather. So as you can see now, it's sunny, warm. It's not warm, it's in the 40s. But I checked the thermometer when I was up on the top of that open spot on the bald up top, and took the windy video. It was 26 degrees. And they had to easily be 20-mile-an-hour winds, so you guys can do the wind chill math yourself. It was pretty brisk. So would you rather hike, do an all-day overnight hike in high 20s, low 30s, or high 80s, low 90s? I think you guys could probably tell the answer for me on this one. I would prefer the cold weather to the warm weather. I can warm myself up. You can put layers on, but when you get hot, the heat just sucks it out of me when I'm trying to, especially doing a climb, doing like I did the other day on Pond Mountain. That was just brutal. And trying to camp when it's really hot at night. I mean, there's only so much you can do to cool off. If it's hot and if it's a little bit of humidity, it's just uncomfortable. So I'm going with the cold. Which is fine with me. That's probably part of the reason I started in February and not later, like some people do, because I want to be done well before it gets really hot in the summertime and try to avoid some of that. So, here's a nice little water area right here. I can't see it too well from that angle, but how about right there? I don't need any water, so I'm not going to harvest any, but that's it. Gonna go rest the legs, get my pack all repacked up and stuff, have some lunch, figure out what I'm gonna do to watch the games tonight. Turned out to be a bit of a hassle watching the games yesterday. Went to the Wicked Chicken, like the only decent restaurant in town, and that's saying something. Their TVs weren't working. DirecTV's not coming out for a week to fix them. So we went back to the hostel. They don't get ESPN. I had to stream it from my phone to the TV. There was all kinds of lag issues, so we only watched the first game. Tonight I got to decide what I'm going to try and do, that or just stream it to my phone up in the bedroom, or go to this brewery on the other side of town that might have one TV, try to watch it there. But yeah, Damascus is not all that, and considering it's like Trail Town USA and they do the trail days here, I'd heard so much about it. It's a hole in the wall with like 2 places to eat and a couple gas station, grocery store type things, and that's about it. So Franklin is still by far the nicest trail town I've seen down here. And we'll check in later. See ya.